Hello and welcome. How are you all doing today? My name is Emily and today I am bringing you the stay-at-home book tag. I was tagged by the wonderful Wild Sasha on Twitter, and I like that this book tag is short and sweet and pretty simple and very applicable to the current times. So let's get right to it. Here's the book tag. First one is Laying in Bed, book you could/have read in one sitting. So books I could read in one sitting, probably all of the Scott Pilgrim books. My boyfriend has the entire series and I'm planning to get to those books soon, and they look pretty simple to flick through. Books that I have read in one sitting, I'm pretty sure I've read a few of the Meta Barons books in one sitting. I think also the first 2 volumes of Paper Girls took me one sitting, and I think I also read P.S. I Love You, which is the second Lara Jean book by Jenny Han. I think I read that in one sitting as well. Snacking, a guilty pleasure book. I don't think I necessarily have guilty pleasures when it comes to reading, but if I were to pick one, I'd probably pick a Cassandra Clare book, but more specifically the Mortal Instruments series. It's Cassandra Clare's debut series. It's not very deep and it can be a little bit teeny and trashy at times, but I have a lot of fun reading the series. I get that it has issues, but I enjoy it anyway. I don't know about the next 3 books because I haven't read them yet, but I've enjoyed the series so far. Netflix series I want to start. I do really want to start the Dresden Files because the concept sounds amazing. It's about a fantasy detective. Daniel Green has talked very highly about this series and Jim Butcher's general oeuvre. I also want to start Cassandra Clare's Dark Artifices series, so that's like Lady Midnight and those other books, but I can't read them until I've read the Mortal Instruments, so I need to get on that. Also, this is not necessarily a start but more of a restart. That's the Wheel of Time series by Robert Jordan. I read the first 3 books when I was 12, but then I left off of the series, not because I wasn't interested, but I had just moved on to different reading interests. But this is definitely a series I want to get back to. It is so iconic. And of course, this is another series that Daniel Green really loves. Can you tell that I'm watching a lot of Daniel Green these days? Deep Clean, books I've had on my TBR the longest. Now, that's gotta be North and South by Elizabeth Gaskell. I'm pretty sure this is the one I've had the longest because I had this book before I moved to the UK and I brought it with me. I think this was my mom's copy. She tried to read it, but she couldn't get through it. So she gave it to me and I really want to read it. But somehow I've never gotten around to this book, so this is on my 2020 TBR. Animal Crossing, book you bought because of the hype. I'm pretty sure there are a few of these. First, there's The Cruel Prince by Holly Black. So Holly Black was doing an event a few years back with Jen Campbell, and I love Jen Campbell, so I had to go. And also I'd heard all the hype about this book, and I was like, man, this Cruel Prince book, I better pick it up. And I'm so glad I did because this is one of my favorite YA series. A couple other books that I bought were at Yalk. There's Children of Blood and Bone by Tomi Adeyemi. I liked this book. I didn't hate it, but also it didn't impact me very much like it did for other people. There's also The Surface Breaks by Louise O'Neill, which is her Little Mermaid retelling. I'm actually unhauling this book because this book was pretty disappointing. I was very underwhelmed. Productivity, a book that you learned from or had some impact on you. Of books that I've read in the last 2 or 3 years, I'm pretty sure Dune is that book. Especially the Litany of Fear, which is the prayer that is introduced at the beginning of the book. Those are some words that have gotten me through some serious periods of anxiety. And of course the book has a lot to say about colonization, climate change, and our reliance on certain natural resources. And also now that I've read it, I can see its influence on so many other pieces of fiction and media, like Star Wars takes so much from Dune. Even Mistborn, this time around when I reread the first book, I could see a lot of Dune influence. If we want to go further back in my life, probably Hyperbole and a Half. That was a book that got me through some really tough periods of my life, and it helped me push through them with a sense of humor. And to this day, that book's chapter on depression has really stuck with me. FaceTime, book you were gifted. The most recent time that I was gifted books was my birthday in December. The first one is The Magpie in the Wardrobe. This is by Sam McKechnie and Alexandrine Portelli. So as you know, I'm a practicing witch and all my friends know that. So my friend Max gave me this book, and this appears to be a collection of spellcraft that you can do throughout the year. It also has little tidbits of magical folklore here and there. It's a really lovely book. so I'm very grateful for this. Next up is the Modern Witchcraft Book of Tarot by Sky Alexander. This is basically a guide to the tarot system and all of the cards, the upright and reversed meanings. But also in the back, there's also a big collection of spells incorporating tarot for different occasions, like prosperity spells or love spells or spells for dispelling sadness. So yeah, this is an absolutely wonderful book. Self-care, a thing that I have done to take care of myself. I'm not sure if Animal Crossing counts, but one thing I have been doing is connecting a lot with people online, forming online communities. I'm actually pretty involved currently with a Discord with other witches and growing witches, and we've been consistently chatting with each other on Zoom and making rituals together, reading books together, and it's just been a great circle to have in these really rough times. I've been doing the same with people that I was connected with before the lockdown as well, and we've been talking a lot, so basically maintaining a lot of those personal connections as well as maintaining my own spiritual life through those connections. Bonus, a book coming out soon. This would probably be V.E. Schwab's Invisible Lives of Addie LaRue. I'm not sure if I got that title right. So that's it for the stay-at-home book tag. If you would like to do this tag, consider yourself tagged. I tag all of you. Let me know down below if you've decided to do this book tag, or even just tag me on Instagram or Twitter if you decide to do this book tag. In the meantime, stay safe and healthy, everyone, and I will see you in my next video.